over decades.
Correct.
Now, for that we had called upon all the states to come forward.
Yes.
Some of the states have come. They are in the process of making some efforts in line with the rules and the regulations and the enactments and the modules. Some states have not even responded. We will be very harsh on those states who have not responded in such a serious matter. So that is what we are trying to do.
No,
These
there's a problem.
modules are there, known to all the states and the local bodies.
No, there's a little
They
problem.
have to follow it.
No, there's a little problem.
And we can monitor it from here. We cannot go down to get it enacted. They have to do it. And we have to make sure that do it in the correct way.
There's a little problem with that. Just allow me.
If you don't mind. No, today, are the Lordship going to go through the whole thing? I don't think that's the... So, no, we have made if you don't mind, we have made an application for modification of your Lordship.
Will you allow me, sir, to argue? I have to argue. Just allow me to finish.
Saying, are we limiting it to the modification or going full hog?
No, we are giving a patient hearing to everyone today because there have been a lot of grievance or,
No, we are seeking
discontentment among the lawyers and the activists that we have not been heard. So today we are giving them all a patient hearing, and thereafter we will proceed in our own
Your Lordship,
as to how to deal with the problem.
Your Lordship rightly said, Menace, that you are called upon the states. Yes. The problem is that the board, pursuant to your Lordship's order of shelter, has set up an SOP which is contrary to the rules. So now the states are complying with that SOP, inconsistent with the rules. That's the problem. So that's what it has to be rectified.
And you highlight that. Why are you taking us to all this? You show us that this is the SOP they have framed, which is contrary to the...
That's how I've got to
deal with that.
Yes, sir. But I'm just showing you...
Call upon the Animal Welfare Board to answer as to why have you framed your SOP...
Because of your Lordship's order, Menace, because you say...
No, you show us where is that SOP.
Yes, I'll just show you.
Just show
it. Just 1 second. Kindly come to 42. Let me just show you this.
When we need to go to A to Z, we can come straight to P and Q and...
No, but this gives the process through which this should be done.
All that we understand. You come forward.
This is the process through which the rabies issue should be dealt with.
Where is the SOP which they have issued by which...
Well, I have a note on that. I have a note.
Modification application.
Yes, I have a note on that.
Yes.
I've got it here. Yes. Now there is a... All right. We just hand over the note. You have that? That is the problem. The states are complying with this, not the rules. Take on the left-hand side, Menace.
Yes.
You will find clause 2(3)(a) of the SOP. Authorizes sterilization to be conducted by local veterinary hospitals and any civil societies or organizations or trust volunteering. In contravention of rules 3 and 5 of the ABC rules, which categorically prohibit any entity from carrying on ABC program without obtaining a certificate of project recognition from the Animal Welfare Board of India and without meeting the minimum infrastructure requirements detailed in Schedule 1 ABC Rules 2023. Then clause 2(3)(b) of the SOP directs that male dogs be sterilized. This is completely unscientific. The directive is scientifically unsound and counterproductive to population control, since leaving females intact allows the population to continue reproducing at the same rate. The male first strategy stands in direct violation of the WHO, Animal Health, WHOHAA, yes, and Dog Population Management Guidelines, Article 7.7.18, Clause 2, which explicitly states that the effective resource-efficient population control must prioritize female sterilization. Contrary to the revised animal birth control module for street dog population management, rabies eradication, reducing man-dog conflict, this is what I was trying to refer to, published by AWBI, which reiterates the scientific necessity of prioritizing females and prescribes a 70% female to 30% male sterilization ratio for effective management, right? Then systematic layout of a dog shelter in the SOP mentions the shelter density of approximately 20 square feet per dog. The SOP legitimizes severe overcrowding, converting shelters into disease incubators, and risk fatal outbreaks of zoonotic diseases and aggression. The dog breeding and marketing rules, clause 21.5, schedule 2, mandate that each dog be provided a minimum floor space calculated as 4 times the length of the dog by 2 times the length of the dog, based on the average length of the adult street dog, 70 centimeters. The length of the enclosure would be at least 280 centimeters. The breadth of the enclosure would be at least 140, totaling of 39,200 square centimeters, 42 square feet of minimum area prescribed per dog for individual enclosure. Association of Shelter Veterinarian Guidelines for Standards of Care in Animal Shelters prescribes that no more than 2 to 4 adult dogs should be co-housed in a single enclosure to minimize. This is what happens, mothers. You keep a rabies infected dog with an ordinary dog, mothers, you will have hell will break out. Then, mothers, if you don't get, at the moment, what is happening? Just give you actual examples. Mothers, they get enough food because a lot of people go and give food. Now, if you go there, mothers, and if your lordship knows what food is given in Tihar jail, your lordship may understand what food will be given to these animals. And then they will bite each other. They will fight with each other for what little they have in a shelter. That will create further disease. You can't have such solutions. We need a scientific setup.
NGOs go to these dog shelters and provide food. That is a regular feature. There is nothing new about it. You are probably mistaken that only the municipal fed or municipalities provide food. Every NGO takes care of the dog shelter. They go there and provide food. So it's not necessarily.
For 1.5 crore dogs, mothers, you think that the animal welfare people will go and give food? For 1.5 crore dogs. I'm sorry?
If they are so concerned, they should do it.
No, but that's not the point, mother. Somebody lives somewhere else, somebody lives somewhere else.
Is it really necessary that the dog will be fed in a hospital?
If your lordships have a solution already, why make me argue with it?
We have not forced you.
But I'm not saying you're not forced. Your lordships are giving solutions. Yes. I mean, I'm giving you scientific material, not unscientific material. Yes. That's all that I am showing to you.
Very well.
It's not my Ipswich district, mothers. I mean, I know for a fact, mothers, that these women who here feed their dogs at the place where they are, not go to shelter homes. I know for a fact. They're all here. I can show you videos for that.
Removal does not work.
Whereas removal doesn't work. I know. But let me go through this, then I'll go to that. Then, Malaj, Association for Shelter Veterinarian Guidelines for Standards of Care in Animal Shelters prescribe that no more than 2 to 4 dogs there are. Please allow me to place all these facts.
Yes. We are not stopping you.
I know that. I'm just getting a little.
No, don't get excited.
No, I'm not excited. Yeah. I'm flustered, but I'm not excited. Because I feel that your lordships have Anyway, a code of practice for Canadian kennel operations, published by the Canadian Veterinary Medical Association, recommends approximately so much. We don't have to follow the Canada model. We'll follow our own model, but I'm just telling you what the other models are. And for a shelter of 100 dogs, the impugned SOP allocates a mere 48 square feet, rendering it physically impossible. If this is what's going to happen, we'll see what the consequences will be.
So the areas, depending upon the population, the human population in Canada and the
this is not Canada.
Canada only has 100.
I'm not on Canada. I'm talking about 42 square feet.
Yes.
That's not Canada. I'm not counting. I'm just saying. Then Miller's clause 424A of the SOP mandates fencing of at least 6 feet height. This is in direct contradiction of the scientifically informed standards of revised module, which explicitly mandates a secure external parameter of a minimum of 8 feet 3 inches. Then clause 245. I mean, not that I want to show, if I show you the videos that what is happening, Miller, it's terrible.
We're not going to video.
But we will
have both sides.
That's right, both sides have them.
Both sides will show you so many videos.
Exactly.
Let's not get into that.
Yes, I appreciate that. Then this of watchman, cleaner, caretaker, and record keeper as mandatory. SOP blatantly omits full-time veterinarians, animal handlers, and paramilitary veterinary staff. Visiting veterinarian cannot possibly manage the daily health emergencies and disease surveillance of 1,000 permanently confined dogs. Even as ABC Center, which houses dogs only temporarily for 4 to 5 days, is required to engage a full-time veterinarian under the ABC rules. Then clause 2A, let's leave that out. Right. Now kindly come to page 54.
Yes.
of my application. This is very important for us. First 42. First 42, then 54.
Yes. Yes. Yes, page 42.
Yes. Third paragraph. Much of the research and experiences of internationally reputed organizations such as the WHO, WOAH, FAO, and independent researchers suggest that killing street dogs can have no correlation with the objective of reducing their population or reducing the number of dog bites or deaths caused by rabies. Much of this research is collated and included in this module. Why do street dogs exist? What are the causes of their existence? What is their impact on our society? Why did earlier attempt at, it not be sat with us, at mass removal of street dogs not achieve the desired results? Actually, they haven't achieved the desired results wherever experiments like this have happened. What are the existing solutions and are they adequate? What recommendations are necessary to enhance the workability of existing solutions? What other solutions can supplement existing solutions? What are the successful models from India and abroad that can be replicated to achieve the desired results? Now kindly come to page 54. At the bottom, why removal of street dogs does not work. I mean, the point is, I'm not saying this, Manoj. This is people who have domain knowledge.
Sybil, you please recollect that both our orders, the first order specific direction was to withhold the extensive removal which was ordered on the first date, right?
That's correct.
The second order restricts its operation only to institutional areas. Otherwise, there is no interference whatsoever with the operation of the ABC rules. So what are we discussing today?
Well, that's my request to your lordship is.
As far as the institutions are concerned, they are not streets. Would you, I suppose you will not disagree on that?
No.
So why do we need dogs in hospitals?
Yeah.
Why do we need dogs in court premises?
Right.
Why do we need dogs in schools?
Right.
That's the question.
Right.
So what are we discussing then?
We are discussing.
We have not made any comment or made any adverse observation regarding the operation of the ABC rules.
The problem
regarding
is,
the stray dog population in streets.
But the problem,
yes.
The problem is that if you put all these dogs who are in these institutional areas in
Yes.
those shelters
Yes.
and don't follow the guidelines.
The guideline says relocate them in the same place.
Yes.
Then how do you get rid of the institutions of this population?
The problem is
Place them outside?
The problem
Why?
is.
Then that is again deviation.
As your lordship knows, all these experiments have gone on because other dogs will replace them. What these experiments says is
Yes.
that dog population is not eliminated in this fashion, because if one dog goes, the other dog comes from outside the area. This is scientifically proved, Malaj. But if you follow a scientific method, they will go in a decade. That's what the experiments, but I'm not saying it on my own.
Yes.
They say if you follow this process, of which I've told your lordships in the beginning, capture, sterilize, vaccinate and release, they'll be eliminated, and they have been eliminated in many cities in our country. They only live 10 years, Bharat. Therefore, all that I'm trying to say is, Bharat, I am only saying what has happened in the past and what has been successful. That's the point I'm making, nothing more than that, Mullah. Yes, other guys will come in, of course, we know of that. This is what is scientifically proved. Now kindly come to 54, Mullah.
Yes.
Why removal of street dogs does not work. Most Indian civic bodies have been killing street dogs for decades, till ABC Dogs Rule 2001 were notified. The concept of culling or killing was imported from the developed countries without any understanding of the different urban and rural conditions in developing countries. In countries such as India, where exposed garbage and slums encourage the existence of street dogs, killing or removing them has proved ineffective in controlling rabies or dog population. Well, what happens is, we dump our garbage, the dogs come there because they have nothing to eat, and this is what then creates the problem. This is because the street dogs that are removed or killed are easily replaced with new dogs from other territories. I'm not saying this, Manoj. This is what will happen. They are also highly territorial, with each dog having its fixed niche. Here is what happens when street dogs are taken away or removed from an area. Their territories become vacant and street dogs from neighboring areas move in to occupy them. The street dogs which escape the catching squad continue to multiply and therefore the territorial vacuum is soon filled again. Dog fights increase since every time a new street dog enters a territory, he is attacked by the dogs already in the neighborhood. Dogs fights continue to take place over mating. Dog bites also increase as during dog fights, passers-by may get accidentally bitten. Rabies may continue to spread if vaccinated. Street dogs are removed and their place is taken by unvaccinated dogs. When street dogs are being removed en masse, it is usually the friendlier and sterilized dogs are caught, killed, dislocated first. The street dogs that are left may be unsterilized and unfriendly. This unintended trait selection may lead to an overall change in behavior of the street dog population in that area. Thus, this only creates an unstable, constantly changing, rapidly multiplying and rabies-carrying dog population. Man-dog conflict ultimately and invariably increases in areas where street dogs are dislocated, removed, and killed. This is not what I say, mothers. This is a plan, mothers, based on experience.
Yes.
Now kindly come to 125. Yes. This is the current government keeping human health in mind, which is what the solicitor said, that we have to fundamentally, mothers, our children and people have to be protected. But the solution should not be that it increases their risk of protection. That's the only point we are making with us.
Yes.
Now kindly see 125. This is National Action Plan for Dog-Mediated Rabies Elimination from India by 2030. Right. Now kindly come, Mullets, to 135. On 135, you will have the National Action Plan for Dog-Mediated Rabies Elimination. So everything is looked after here. At 136, kindly see, mothers, human health comes first. Human beings come first, mothers. Even in this action plan. Now we support that. That's why I said we are ad item on this. Now, human health component. Core components of NAPRE, the National Action Plan Rabies Elimination, will have two core components to achieve the elimination of dog-mediation human rabies. To prevent human deaths due to rabies by ensuring timely access for post-exposure prophylaxis for all animal bite victims and creating well-responsive public health system. And two, animal health component to achieve a 70% anti-rabies vaccination coverage among dogs in defined geographical areas annually for 3 consecutive years. Right? Now kindly come to page 138. Planning and implementing strategic mass dog vaccination program. It's all set out, Manoj.
Yes.
Item C at the bottom of 138. The objective of the strategic mass dog vaccination program is to achieve anti-rabies vaccination in at least 70% of the dog population for 3 consecutive years and maintain the 70% vaccination status in a defined geographical area. So that's what your lordship need to do, direct them to do that. This means vaccinations have to be conducted in 70% of dogs every year for 3 years to provide adequate protective herd immunity in that population. If at least 70% vaccination coverage is maintained every year, rabies would be eliminated from the defined dog population. Then for 5-8 years to eliminate rabies in an area or region. And then in 10 years they will die. The proliferation will not take place, so you'll have a dog-free situation, even in these institutional areas. The average life is 8 to 10 years, mothers. So if you have the sterilization program, this will be eliminated. Then, mothers, kindly see that this will be prioritized. Kindly come to, mothers, the sentence starting, mothers, the Department of Animal Husbandry in coordination with The Department of Animal Husbandry, in coordination with municipal corporations, panchayati institutions, and NGOs, have to take the lead in strategic market dog vaccination campaigns and ensure availability of anti-rabies vaccine at all levels of animal health facilities. Then kindly come to E. Dog population management to limit the man-dog conflict and to reduce the numbers of stray dogs to an acceptable level through animal birth control. So that program is there. Then Miller's 140, item I, confinement and containment. As per the Prevention of Control of Infectious Diseases Act, rabies is a notifiable disease in animals. The state government should ensure that all the measures as per the Act should be followed in case of animal rabies. Isolation wards must be created for rabies suspected dogs. This is also very important, because they could not be mixed up with the others. By the veterinary sector, both animal husbandry department and local governing bodies, and provisions must be made for their maintenance of these facilities, and guidelines of AWBI to be followed in deciding the fate of suspected dogs.
Mr. Sybil,
Yes.
kindly read the order dated 22nd August, if you have that,
Yes.
and the direction number 33B.
Can I have that? Just take it out.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Please do that.
I don't have it immediately. Yeah, I have it here. Sorry.
33B.
Yes, I'll just. Okay, I have.
Tell us what is
The
the,
directions contained in paragraph so and so, to the extent that they prohibit the release of picked up stray dogs, shall be kept in abeyance for the time being. That are picked up shall be sterilized. Correct. That's
Please-
your first order, Malad.
please read.
Dewormed, vaccinated, and released back at the same area from which they were picked up.
What is the intent of the ABC rules which you just read out?
Contrary, exactly consistent with
That
this.
direction is already there.
No, I agree. Malad, that is, and you see 25E also, Malad.
Yes, please.
You see, yes.
Yes.
Of 711 order.
Yes. 711 is for institutions. That is only restricted for
But
institutions.
even for institutions, the same logic will apply.
Right, that is your argument. We will deal with that.
Then of course, I'm sure I'm not sure.
That is your argument.
We can only make an argument.
Yes,
Malad.
that's true. So you are generally arguing on stray dogs in the street. That direction we have virtually reiterated what is there in the Act. So what is your argument regarding directions given for the institutions? Focus on that.
My argument
Focus
is
on
very
that.
simple. The
Yes.
logic that applies to street dogs
Yes.
equally applies to institutions. We are not dealing with the fact that they are in an.
Dogs. We
Sorry?
should phrase coin a new term. Institutionalized
They are
dogs.
defined as community dogs, Malad.
Okay.
Under the ABC rules, they are defined as community dogs.
Very well.
Just see the ABC rules.
Yes.
See the definition of community dogs.
Yes.
Means an animal born in a community for which no ownership has been claimed by any individual or an organization, excluding wild animals as defined under the Wildlife Act. These are community dogs. They are looked after. And let us assuming, what my lords is, let's assume that only in the institutional area is sent, Maras. If these guidelines are not followed, what is going to happen? What's going to happen then, Maras? The same results will happen.
True.
So, Maras, therefore, even if you were to remove them, unless you follow the guidelines, the consequences will be the same.
No,
Whether you remove them from a street or you remove from an institutional area.
Yes. True.
See, the SOP covers everything.
All right.
Very well.
That's all that I'm saying, but I'm not saying anything more than that. Now, kindly come. No, I want to say something. I want to tell you something else, Malas. Now, kindly see the economics of it. That's also very serious. Now the animal birth control rules, Malas, are a complete statutory code. Delhi, for example, has 250 wards. Just, Malas, I'll file an affidavit to that effect. 250 wards. And the estimated dog population is 10 lakh. I don't know what the dog population in institutional areas, quite frankly, I don't know.
So economics would be relevant in this context only for that population.
I agree. I'm not saying, I'm just indicating to you what, even at 2 lakh sterilization per year, that is 600 rupees, 600 a day, it would take 5 to 9 years, assuming zero births meanwhile, which is impossible, Under-sterilized dogs continue breeding, creating a perpetual backlog. The solution is decentralization, not abandonment of ABC. Now, Lucknow Nagar Nigam, it has done this and succeeded completely, even for institutional areas. 999 rupees per dog, sterilization plus vaccination. Assume 550 dogs in an institution, cost of complete sterilization is 49,000 rupees. And average lifespan post-sterilization is 4 to 6 years. Within 5 years, natural attrition reduces population to near zero without new births. This is finite, predictable, and humane. Veterinary capacity exists, it is not utilized. Delhi has 585 veterinary institutions in each if each conducts 4 sterilizations a day, it will take 2,340 days, dog days. Entire population sterilized in 1 year. Over 5 years, population collapses naturally instead of exploding. ABC rules have not failed. Failure lies in non-distribution of responsibility, municipal overload, and refusal to involve institutions.
Exactly, this is what you are also saying.
I'm sorry?
The failure is on the part of the local bodies, the
Exactly.
corporations, the councils.
So it can be, what I'm saying is, whether it's institutional areas or other, it can be done. That's all that I'm saying, Bharat. If it's a matter of policy that no institutional area will have a dog, but that will not be implemented with somebody else's dog, some other dog will come in. That's the problem. I'm not anti that. I'm just talking about the practical. This is what the science tells us. There will be a replacement. Then let us kindly see the economics of it. Documentary example from record shows MCD contract with Delhi Dogs Association. Well, there's a contract. And 6 lakhs for feeding 100 dogs for 2 months. It costs 6 lakhs for feeding 100 dogs for 2 months. No sterilization, no vaccination, no population reduction, cost extrapolation. Thus, now you feed about cost per dog per month is 3,000 rupees. For 2 lakh dogs, if you were to all take them there, it will be 60 crore per month, 720 crore per year. Who is going to bear that burden? People don't get reasonable food in jails, where the dogs are going to get, and they're going to be dog fights then. Therefore, this burden, economic burden, is discharged by whom? By communities. So you're not shifting the burden to a corporation, which, as your lordship knows, corporations conduct, your lordship knows more than we do. You are actually allowing the corporation not to bear that burden, and in the process, or if you follow the guidelines, you will reduce the population and you will be a dog-free bite society. And Manoj, I'll show to your lordships in which states. I'll show you page 12 of my application. This has been successful.
Yes.
Page 12. Yes. Right. Now kindly see. Page 12. Goa, 0 rabies cases between September 17 to 23. Rabies controlled area. How, Manas? There also there will be dogs in institutions. Free. Then, Manas, Dehradun. Dog bite incidence reduced by 68.18%. Compliance affidavit dated 29/10/20 filed by the state of Uttarakhand in the present matter. These are tourist places. Then, Manas, kindly see. Very interesting. Leave Sikkim and Chennai out. Kindly come to page 14. Lucknow. In 2025, more than 78% street dogs have been sterilized, which has resulted in decline in the number of newborns from 8 per 100 street dogs to under 4 in 25. In 2019, about 13% of female dogs were lactating. In May 25, this fell to just 2%, showing sterilization has slowed the birth cycle. So it's not as if Lucknow doesn't have institutional areas. So the point I'm making is, Maharaj, it's not going to solve the problem. The problem is some other dog will come there. Then you send him again. Then somebody else will come there. And in the meantime, if you keep them in shelters like that and don't give them food, the solution is worse than the problem. The bites will increase, Maharaj. The rabies will increase. So the point that I'm making is that we are not against that, Maharaj. I'm just saying that we should accede to those who have domain knowledge in this area, pursuant to which these rules were framed and experiments were done and they've been successful. So we are, as I said, this is not adversarial. Then Vadodara, see Vadodara. It has been reduced from 86% to complaints have come down to 40%, 60%. And following these guidelines, through a process of, in fact, in Lucknow, it's even more important because in Lucknow, the municipal corporation is collaborating with individuals. I have a gentleman here from there, collaborating with individuals. So they inform them that, look, there is this dog. The corporation then cooperates, then they are sent, and then the process is followed. So what we need to do is the NGOs to collaborate with the corporation, municipal corporation here and all other cities in the country, and have a process through which, through that collaborative exercise, sterilization can be done, dog population reduced, and ultimately eliminated, dog bites eliminated. Now, after your Lordship's order, we've done an RTI, dog bites have increased in Indore. We've done an RTI. They have increased. It's been from 4074 to 5103. So it's not going to solve the problem.
All right.
The objective of any order is to reduce dog bites, to reduce possibilities of our children being bitten. Now, the last thing I want to mention here is that there are earlier judicial orders following these guidelines, right, and kindly have a look at those judicial orders, page 64. Yes. Page 64 and at 76. That's right?
Yes.
That's the one, no?
Yes.
Yes. But it's right on top. As stated earlier, we will advert to the same at a later stage, but for the present it is suffice to say that all the state municipal corporations, municipal committees, district boards, and local bodies shall be guided by the Act and the rules, and it is the duty and obligation of the Annual Welfare Board to see that they are followed with all seriousness. It is also the duty of all the municipal corporations to provide infrastructure as mandated in the statute and the rules. Once that is done, we are disposed to think, for the present, that a balance between compassion and dogs and the lives of human beings, which is appositely called a glorious gift of nature, may harmoniously exist. But the last 4 lines of this, needless to emphasize this very page, no innovative method or subterfuge should be adopted not to carry out the responsibility under the 60 Act and the 2001 rules. Any kind of laxity while carrying out statutory obligations is not countenanced in law. And then 78 at page 84. The paragraph starting, we will be failing in our duty.
Yes.
If we do not make a note of the submissions of both the sides which are extreme in nature, for example, emphasis and stress has been laid that due to stray dogs there has been threat to life, health, movement, and sometimes security of human beings. On the other hand, it has been highlighted that the stray dogs are being annihilated without any justifiable reason. As advised at present, we do not intend to say anything. And then at page 87 at the bottom, we will be failing in our duty if we do not note the submission of Shri Dave that though the Act and the rules provide for sterilization of dogs so that safety of the human beings is not jeopardized, yet they are not being sterilized by the authorities. This is the problem. Either for lack of funds or due to apathy. Regard being had to the provisions governing the field, we direct that the dogs which are required to be sterilized or vaccinated, the procedure shall be carried out in accordance with the Act and the rules. And this applies to all dogs anywhere they are located. And no organization shall create the kind of obstacle or impediment in the same. It shall be the obligation of the board to oversee that this is being carried out and no obstructions are created in this regard. And then at page 89, at 97, well, it's page 96, your lordships may see.
Yes.
Sentence starting in pursuant to the aforesaid order, the Animal Welfare Board has filed a module which takes note of various aspects. One aspect pertains to implementation of a framework of street dog population management rabies. This is how it happened. This is how it came about. We think it's appropriate to reproduce the same for the sake of completeness and also to have future assistance. Therefore, it is so they reproduce it, which I've already indicated to your lordships. Yeah. Right. No, you don't have to argue that. My lord knows it. She's asked me to say Article 142. I said, don't forget about that. No, my lord knows that. So, Mullahs, the only one thing. What is the interim relief we want? Right? Your lordships, kindly have a look at my application, the prayers at page 18.
Yes. 1H.
1H, Mullahs. First, the constitution of a committee, filing Secretary, Department of Animal Husbandry, heads of animal husbandry departments of the least 3 state governments, wherein the ABC program has implemented successfully, which are the states that I mentioned, Mullahs. We have Lucknow, we have UP, we have Uttarakhand also, Mullahs. We have Goa. Or such other officials and other relevant stakeholders as this Honorable Court may deem appropriate to assist this Honorable Court on feasible pathways for the implementation of statutory framework addressing the presence and management of community dogs in institutional areas and to submit a report. That's exactly what my lord put to me, that this is not quaint, but this is exactly what we want. Let's have a report, Mullahs, on a scientific basis with people who have domain knowledge. And pending submission of such report, temporarily keep in abeyance C, D, E, H, and I, Mullahs, which is your lordship's order. May I just invite your lordship's attention to that? Just show that. I have it here. Temporarily only, Mullahs. Yes. Then C is the management of every educationist hospital, which is what my lord said to me. Sports complex, bus stand, railway station. But we will not be able to control the ingress and egress of dog population in these areas, even if you remove a dog. That's all that I'm saying, brother. So ultimately, it doesn't solve the problem.
All right.
And then local municipal authorities carry out regular inspections at least once in 3 months. And then it shall be the responsibility of, and it is pursuant to this order that the SOP was changed. So that's what happened, brother. So my request to your lordships is, we're not adversarial. We are as much concerned about our children as they are. But we're also concerned about the fact that human health should not suffer if you allow this to go on in this fashion, in an unscientific way. I'm deeply obliged to your lordship. Mr. Venugopal Maharaj wants to say online, say something.
No, wait, you have been heard? Wait. Yes, Mr. Venugopal.
Unmuted.
May I now be
Right,
excused?
Mr. Lordships. You know, it's my application number.
May I be excused, Maharaj?
Yes.
My
Obliged, I'm deeply
application
obliged.
number is 301-349 of 2025.
3013.
301-349. 301-349 of 2025.
Yes.
And the applicant, my lord, is Nalsar University of Law, that is the National Academy of Legal Studies and Research, Hyderabad.
Yes.
And my lord, so far as the credentials of this university is concerned, it's the only university in India which has an animal law center. They have also, my lords,
Yes, sir. I don't
a
know.
master's degree. They have, my lord, a law course, a master's degree, my lords, in animal protection. And also, my lords, a postgraduate diploma in animal protection.
Yes.
Globally, they have an MOU with Harvard University in regard to animal welfare and protection. With this background, my lords, so far as we are concerned, our investigation has disclosed my lords, statistics which were never placed before your lordships earlier. And these statistics have been culled out from authoritative, my lords, publications. And if your lordships would be pleased to see page 131.
Of your IA?
Page 131 of my application.
Yes. Mixer 12, yes.
Data pertaining to stray dogs in educational institutions. And this is confined only to educational institutions for application, my lords, of your lordship's order of 7th November regarding, my lord, fencing the entire institution or putting round a wall and all other connected. Now here, please look at this statistics. Dog population in India, as per the State of Pet Homelessness Project India, published by Mars Incorporation, a global pet food company. The total number of dogs, my lords, in India are 5 crores 25 lakhs.
Yes.
The next one is number of registered educational institutions as per the economic survey. And this 2024-25, my lord, is a mistake. If your lordships will be pleased to correct it to 2023-2024.
Very good.
Now, this is, my lords, 15 lakhs 46,941 are the total number of educational institutions, including schools, shown by the economic survey. Then, my lords, number of dogs in educational institutions, taking an average of 10 dogs per institution, will be 1 crore 54 lakhs 69,410. Then, my lord, number of shelters required to house 1 crore 54 lakhs dogs. Yes, a capacity of 200 dogs per facility would be 77,347. The minimum floor space per dog in animal birth control centers for dogs to recuperate for 4 to 5 days, prescribed by the Animal Welfare Board of India in the revised Animal Birth Control Module for street dog population management, rabies eradication, and reducing man-dog conflict, 2025, 12 square feet per dog. That is during birth control. And functional shelter requirement per dog is 40 square feet. Land area required to shelter 1 crore 54 lakh dogs will be 14,205 acres. And overlay, cost of feeding a dog per day, conservative estimate, 40 rupees per day. Cost of feeding 1 crore 54 lakhs dogs will be 61 crores 87 lakhs. Annual cost of feeding will be 22,585 crores. So these are the statistics, my lords, available today from authorized sources. Now, my lord, so far as this is concerned, it is confined only to educational institutions. Now, my lord, if your lordship needs to turn to para 18 of my para 18
Of your IA?
of my page 8, my lords.
Yes.
The infrastructural fragility of educational institutions is further evident from the Unified District Information System for Education Plus report 2024-25 issued by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. The report records substantial deficits in the availability of basic facilities across schools in the country. It notes that 194,412 schools have no functioning electricity connection. 14,505 schools lack access to functional drinking water facility. 61,540 schools do not have any functional toilet facilities. 59,829 do not have functional hand wash facilities. Now, it is not possible to comprehend, my lord, that these schools will now be able to fund this putting up of a fence all around the schools when they don't even have hand washing facilities or will not have access to toilets and so on. Please turn to para 23, my lords. Para 23 at page 10.
Yes.
The Economic Survey 2024 records that 15,46,941 educational institutions across the country. Applying the directions to each of these institutions would require the identification, capture, transport, and permanent housing of all stray dogs present within the premises. The operational demands arising from such an exercise are extensive and will necessitate the establishment of a sheltering system of a size and permanence not presently available within the existing administrative arrangements. A true copy of the relevant portion of the economic survey is annexed. Then 34. As per the State of Pet Homelessness Project India, a report published by Mars Incorporation, a global pet food, in collaboration with more than 2,500 animal welfare
What
experts.
is your basic submission?
My basic submission
These
is,
are all data provided. We can read that. You tell us what you want to submit.
yes, the basic submission is this. With these statistics are never placed before your lordships. For the first time, one is now faced with the enormity of the problem. There are neither the funds nor the infrastructure which is possible. And please go to page 18, my prayer.
Yes.
Page 18. It is therefore most respectfully prayed, Honorable Court may be pleased to pass the following orders. Direct the constitution of a committee comprising the heads of the department.
That's the same prayer which Mr. Sibbal read out.
Words?
No, it's the same. Who's topic to
That's all right. Very well. But anyway, my lords, let me read the prayers. Direct the constitution of a committee comprising the heads of the Department of Animal Husbandry Government of India, the heads of the Urban Development Department of at least 3 state governments, the Animal Welfare Board of India, subject matter experts, such other officials as the Honorable Court may deem appropriate, to examine the factual material placed on record in this application, including but not limited to A, the presence of approximately 1,54,069,410 community dogs in and around 15,46,941 educational institutions, and B, the estimated annual expenditure of 22,584 crores for feeding 1,54,000 community dogs permanently impounded. Submit a report. And pending the submission of such report, temporarily keep in abeyance the directions contained in the order dated 7/11/2025 insofar as they direct the removal of dogs from institutional premises. My respectful submission to your lordships is that Rule 16, Sub-Rule 19 of the ABC rules expressly may not require stray dogs to be removed, sterilized, vaccinated, and returned to the places from where they were removed after that. and a team to go along with them to ensure that they are returned to the same place. Your Lordship's order, my lords, does not recognize this. I cannot expect, my lord, that the Supreme Court would ignore a statutory rule which binds the entirety until that rule is amended or, my lord, set aside. And therefore, my sincere request to your Lordships is that an order which your Lordship has passed, which provides for these to be removed from the places where they are requested to, and not to be returned to the same place when the rule requires that. That, my lord, would be against the rule of law. And therefore, my lord, my respectful respect to my request to your Lordships is that keep in abeyance this. Let the expert committee give a Lordship a report. The enormity of the problem is such that it requires an application for mind by the committee separately for a little while, collect all the data, then we'll all find out as to what is the solution. But keeping in mind the rule at all times that the dogs cannot be taken away to shelters, they have to be returned to the place from where they are taken.
Now,
And that
can
is
you please clarify one thing? The number of educational institutions mentioned is 15,46,941 across the country.
yes.
Now, these educational institutions include all the primary institutions and up to the higher education?
Yes,
Very well.
starting from schools,
All right.
but only the educational institutions.
Only education is starting from primary
To college.
to college.
Primary, yes, primary schools. No, that's all I have to submit.
Dr. Manjula Vishwas.
Institutions.
Menace?
I have a.
Lordship.
Only 5 minutes.
Let Mr. Venugopal, you are done?
Yes, I have done, my lords.
Lordship, I'm only on the institution point. I'm Dr. Manjula Vishwas. Only on the institution point I'm submitting. Lordship has pointed out that what about the institutions? Your order specifically, the last order speaks about institutions. Venugopal sir, I'll just quote my IA number. It is 123262.
You are Miss
I'm Dr. Manjula Vishwas.
Dr. Manjula Vishwas.
IA number is 123262. 123262.
Yes.
Yes.
Lordship, I am not repeating the numbers. 15.5 lakh of educational institution and the economic figures because Venugopal sir has already pointed that out. But I am just saying is that what is feasible is if the feeders are not taken as adversaries and if the government, if the court works in partnership with the feeders can assist the court. The feeders will be at no extra cost. It will take the burden of the government. Now, these dogs which are there in educational institution, even if we catch at 10 dogs per educational institution, and Venugopal sir has already given the figures. My suggestion is the feeders of that area, if they are taken into confidence, those feeders will remove the dogs. Those feeders will take care of the dogs. And in this, my lord, the prevention of animal cruelty only gives 50 rupees as fine for animal cruelty. My lord, only 50 rupees is there. Even that you have to look into.
All right.
My lords will see my modification.
Understood your submission.
Lordship, my modification application number 10118 and 10118. 10118
who has
And-
assisted 5 states now.
Yes, my lord, we can go online.
Successful.
Lordship,
Online, my lord, then we can.
Lordship places.
All right, we have heard you.
My Lordship has not heard me. My Lord, places
Still not
like
heard you, all right.
places like Jaipur,
Ah.
they have eradicated that rabies problem by the same method. That is, they neuter vaccinate.
There in Mr. Sipal's statement, he has pointed out
So
the
I am
Jaipur also.
only on the point.
Dehradun and
I'm
Lucknow.
just on the point that if feeders are allowed
All right,
to
understood.
assist the
Feeders
municipal,
should be allowed to.
yes, and my Lordship,
Serves every
Lord,
purpose.
That's right. All right.
My lord,
feeding spots. In
my lord, I have a strong suggestion, my lord. My lord, I have a strong suggestion to deal with this issue, my lord.
Provided. No feeding spots were, just give me a minute. No feeding spots have been provided, Lordship. Lordship, no feeding spots have been
Hijack.
provided.
What can you do? Huh? You are helpless.
That's
Yes,
going well.
let me complete now.
Yes, you
No
complete.
feeding spots have been provided. All we have applied to our Bombay Municipal Corporations. No feeding spots have been provided, even though Lords have given that order. My Lord, this is the RTA which we had filed for shelters. There are no shelters. This is Navi Mumbai response, which is shelter nasne mahiti niranka. So, my Lord, when you say that those dogs should be shifted to shelters, so we need to first have shelters, proper
Exactly, we
shelters.
understand that.
So,
Yes.
some time-bound first order should be made that some shelter should be created, and then the catching of the dogs. Now, what is happening is it is going the other way around. They are picking up dogs and they are just throwing them.
Sir, I am a dog bite victim of this very
My
thing.
humble
All right. Thank you very
submission.
much.
My lord, I have a strong suggestion. My lord, I have a strong suggestion to deal with the issue, my lord. My lord, I have drafted and filed one national policy on community animal welfare and public health draft, my lord. So, my lord, this contained 238 sections, my lord.
Let them make their noise and go. They are not willing to understand.
problem is
They are not disciplined at all. What can we do?
The problem is they're not leaving. They're just standing here and blocking everybody else who wants to come and argue. Either they complete arguments and leave.
Control them.
You already heard it.
Huh? All of you who have been hurt can shift back.
Move back, please.
Move back. Let the others come forward. Where is your policy? You have framed the national policy.
Please, my lord.
Please pass it on. We will deal with it.
My lord,
What's your good name?
My name is Rahul Mohod. Rahul
Mohod,
Mohod.
the most
MOHOD.
disciplined lawyer. Huh?
My lord, I'm in SLP 17623/2025.
Rahul?
Mohod, MOHOD.
Mohod. Yes.
Mohod. So, my lord, the SLP number 17623/2025, IA number 281808/2025, my lord.
IA number?
281
Yes.
808/2025, my lord. I incorporated in one national agency, National Animal Welfare Ombudsman for national level and state level of the state. And my lord, behavior of dog and identification of aggressive dog biting issue, census, everything is included, my lord. There is a 238 sections.
All right.
Okay, and my lord, I implemented therefore the Union of India by IA number 281.
Thank you, Mr. Mohod. We heard
My
you.
lord, I have suggestion, my lord. My lord,
You
there's
have gone through your policy. You have framed the policy.
Don't worry.
You have done the job of the parliament.
We'll read your policy. Don't worry.
Yes.
my
Thank
lord,
you.
actually, but there is
All right. Now you can shift back. Dr. Manjula, please.
Please.
Let the others come forward. Enough. We have heard you. No more.
Sir, I have a
No,
small
doctor.
point.
No. No. All of you will please shift back. Please take them back.
Menace, may I?
No, 1 minute.
Yes,
Mr. Grover has been here since the morning. Mr. Colin Gonzalez has been here. You have been going here and there, and then you have come here, so you wait for your turn.
Sabu Stephen hai.
No, we are noticing who's here and is not here. No.
But I've been following throughout.
Yes, we know that. We'll hear you. Wait.
Yes.
So, my lord, may I get
Just before that, there is one gentleman appearing in person,
Sabu Stephen
Mr. Sabu Stephen. उनको unmute करिए.
is there since the morning. (301).
Hello, my lords. Kindly allow me to speak just 5 minutes, 5 points.
Yes.
The first and foremost one is I am Sabu Sivan petition. I was a petitioner person in WPC 805 of 2015, which is in phase 1 of this trade matter. And now I am a application impleader as a petitioner.
Number?
Number IA number 229390.
Yes.
My lord, I am here for human safety.
Yes.
Safety of the people shall be the supreme law. This is a picture just before this person died in his 90th year. In an early morning while he was sleeping in his home in Trivandrum, Varkala.
Already you can please remove that.
Put down the photo, put down the photo.
Put down the photo and make your submissions. You
Okay.
don't have to show the photograph. Yes.
Okay, my submission is, what is the relation between the Parent Act, PCA, Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960 versus the rule, ABC rule 2001 and 2023. The preamble of the notification 2023 saying, now therefore in exercise of the powers conferred by clause E of subsection 1 and 2 of section 38 of the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960. It is the ABC 2023 is framed on that provision. And what is that provision saying? That provision saying is the other methods of destruction of stray dogs referred to in clause B of subsection 3 of section 11. And what is this? Section 11 saying the destruction of stray dogs in lethal chambers or such other methods as may be prescribed. So in total, the ABC rule 2001 as well as its revised version 2023, both are ultra vires. Moreover, it is unconstitutional as well as unscientific. My lords, in India, there is a beautiful land of place called Lakshadweep. In Lakshadweep, there is no stray dog and there is no stray dog bites. But the rest of the India, the people are suffering. So in India, the Lakshadweep is the paradise. The similar situation is there in across all the developed countries where human rights are protected, especially USA, Japan. In Japan, there is no, across the world, there is no concept of stray dogs. Only dog means pet dog only. And in Japan, there is a special provision called a dream box. Dream boxes are the shelter homes for dogs, not stray dogs. It is dogs. The people own abandoned dogs in street. The people of Japan will abandon dogs in dream boxes. The shelter home in Japan called dream boxes. There the people can adopt or after a few days they will euthanize the dogs. Daily they are euthanizing 500 as an average rate. So the safety of Japanese people is the highest in the world. After 1950, there is only 3 rabid deaths happen in the homeland of Japan. And these 3 people are coming from Philippines after getting bites, dog bites from Philippines. So in Japan, after 1950, there is no rabid death. The same situation needs to be there in our homeland of India also, my lords.
Very well.
And what is the another critic?
Thank you.
Yeah, my lord.
Yes, Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes. 10 minutes and no repetition. I number 329887. You'll find my note as well, my lord, but for the sake of convenience, I'm giving it to you now. This is a short note, madam.
IA number?
329887.
Yes.
Short note. It's called a
Yes.
short note. Yes, Lord. Now, my lord, first of all, when the case began, it began with wrong information being given. Namely, there are 37 lakh dog bites in the country. There was an elementary mistake made. It was presumed that a vaccine sold meant a bite. Actually, when you have a bite, you'll have 5 to 7 vaccines given to you.
Correct.
Therefore, the overestimation was to the tune of 5 to 7 times. If you look at my note, my lord,
Yes.
item number 1, clause number 1, it created a kind of hysteria in the country Now, if you look at that, I've given you the central government data, which is very, very revealing. Zero rabies in Delhi, clause 1, in 22, 23, 24. And zero rabies in 19 states of India. This is Government of India data, which I've annexed with my eye. Go a little down, my lord. Your lordship's order dated 22/8/25, stray dogs must be returned. What your lordship Justice Mehta pointed out was welcomed in the country. It was a huge relief for everybody, and it calmed the situation down. There was, my lord, I think, I'm not sure if I'm right, maybe in the second order there was something which confused people a little bit inadvertently. So, my lord, look at that, please, because this direction is the perfect ultimate direction followed all across the world. Now, my lord, go down a little bit. Infrastructure for stray dogs, pathetic. I won't repeat that.
Yes.
That is set out in detail. But look at the best practices, my lord. Stray dog population declining, rabies declining. Shimla, I've given you, my lord, this is what I knew. Shimla, Faridabad, Gurugram. Turn the page, my lord. International practices. In the UK, you have the 5 freedoms. So animal rights, there are 5 freedoms, my lord. The American Veterinary Medical Association, I've set it out in the IA. Bhutan has curbed the practice. Netherlands has curbed the practice. And Korea. Now, my lord, drastic and irreversible consequences of impounding stray dogs in kennels.
Note here.
It's the same as what your lordship will find. Just to save time, my lord. Now, my lord, the drastic and irreversible consequences of impounding stray dogs, which, my lord, some persons suggest, my lord. You have 2 very good examples before you. The Bombay Municipal Corporation went through the same kind of hysteria decades ago, landed up in a lot of trouble. The solution was worse than the problem. And, my lord, at the bottom of that paragraph is the Corporation of Madras experience. These 2, my lord, we have set out in detail. And, my lord, as a result of which, my lord, the corporation's policy reversed their policy and replaced picking up and putting in kennels by vaccination, sterilization, etc. The ABC rules, Rule 1117 says the maximum period for detention after sterilization is 4 to 10 days. Yes, sir. Now, my lord, mass removal of dogs, hazardous. Now, my lord, this is a very important concept. Vaccinating dogs create a rabies shield in that locality. So if you have more than 70% of vaccination and 30% not vaccinated, the other dogs also get that protection of a rabies shield. Therefore, my lord, it's very important to send vaccinated dogs back to the very area and not remove them because it contributes to that rabies shield. Now, my lord, the international experience of culling strays, culling and impounding strays. There is, my lord, the Global Alliance of Rabies Control, and that, my lord, I've set out, that if you cull or you incarcerate, my lord, they increase rabies transmission. And I've set out, my lord, Denmark, Indonesia, USA, Korea, and my lord, the next. Moving dogs from their locality increases the spread of rabies. Vaccinate and send them back so that the rabies shield consolidates. You vaccinate and send them out, fresh dogs fill that area, my lord, with unvaccinated dogs. And it goes against a WHO recommendation, which I've annexed. Now, my lord, government shelters are breeding grounds of the spread of infection disease. The dogs get agitated, they bash against their, my lord, their confinement, they fight among themselves. It creates a completely chaotic situation, increases stress, injuries, and suppresses the immunity of previously vaccinated. So vaccinating dogs put in there, my lord, I don't need. The ABC units in deplorable condition, my lord, and you cannot expect this to improve. For 30 years, the corporations have kept this like hovels. Now look, my lord, we have actually studied Hyderabad, this, that, and the other, my lord, all these shelters, and we've done it with photographs showing the horrific conditions. So we can't rely on the corporations to do this with. Now, my lord, the Supreme Court and High Court decision, there's a lovely decision of the Delhi High Court along the lines that your lordship was thinking of. I've said that there. Now, my lord, student-wide sympathy and love for dogs. They've all come out, my lord, they've held processions and so on. We are, the animal lovers are, the majority, the overwhelming majority of persons concerned with the care of stray dogs. We are 99% as compared to 1%, which is stridently against dogs. We are 99. Please recognize that, my lord, and give them power to help the corporations, to monitor the corporation, give them power, empower them to go out, my lord, and help the corporation get their act in order. All these universities, my lord, have officially written letters to your lordship. Then, my lord, the Indian Academy of Pediatrics has also written to your lordship, my lord, saying, please send them back. Please do humane treatment. My lord. Then under paragraph 15, dogs must be fed where they live, not in any other place, my lord. They are location-based animals, my lord. We must separate, my lord, in this case, the cows from the dogs. The cows you can put in gaushalas, there's no problem. That's the reason why this case must separate it in this respect. Dogs must be in their locality. You send them out and they will die. They'll be attacked and they will die. Not possible. So, my lord, feedings, and second, my lord, feeding spots must be done by the corporation in collaboration with animal lovers. We will help the government enormously, but today, my lord, they are harassing Resident Welfare Association members who are, my lord, feeding dogs. Particularly harassment of women members. We've documented that many places. Women feeding dogs have come under very, very ferocious attacks. Protect us, my lord. Protect us if we are doing nothing else but feeding. All right, maybe we may feed slightly outside an area where the dogs live, because it makes no point feeding them in a place where they don't go. A little bit like that, but don't come and, my lord, women have been stripped, beaten, and hounded, my lord, in the country. Please protect us. Harassment by RWAs, my lord, is point number 16. Then, my lord, 17 is they are sentient beings, dogs. The locality is crucial to their lives. Take them out of a place where they are staying and they will die or fall sick and whatever, my lord. Now, my lord, we have given instances of cruelty. And I am, my lord, familiar with this somewhat, my lord. My daughter is very active looking after dogs in Nizamuddin East. I could not believe, my lord, the things that I was told. Poisoning, routine. Beating, very routine. Suffocating, routine. But what I did not know was that the raping of dogs by human beings is a very common practice. It was a criminal offense in the previous code, but now in the BNSS, the cruelty to dogs like this has been removed as an offense. Then, my lord, 19, my lord, my colleagues who instructed me studied Hindu religion, Muslim, Buddhist. Well, that is beautiful to see. In our religious culture and background and practices, the dog has been always the symbol of human, animal love and respect. Beautifully done, my lord. Human aggression contributes to cruelty. Not much need to be said on that. There is an AB board circular 271125 saying to put them in cages of 24/7. Horrifying solution, my lord. Really horrifying. You confine and they will fight. You confine and they'll fall sick. You confine and they'll spread disease. It's, my lord, a killer suggestion to me. Nationwide survey, my lord, I trust this survey. 91% of Indians feel safer with street dogs. And I can tell you, lordship, in institutions, the dogs will work with the security guards. At night, the guard will sleep, the dog will be awake. And can I say, my lord, I hope it doesn't have a negative impact. In your lordship's court, you have some beautiful stray dogs. Beautiful stray dogs who've been deemed there for years. Ask the security guard, my lord.
Ask the lawyer in Gujarat High Court.
Yes, my lord. No, I know my 10 minutes. I've come to the last 2 minutes. Yes. Beautiful. I hope, my lord, your lordship will not direct them to be removed. The guards will tell you, my lord, how wonderful they are at night and how they protect the establishment. Then, my lord, the compliance affidavits which have been filed by the government, awful. And they show one thing, my lord, that the ABC work of the government is going down almost to zero. Tell your amicus, my lord, to please analyze those affidavits from the point of view is what is the work done by the municipality? They are showing the NGO work as their work. And one very depressing thing, now directions have been given by the board, which will result in 90% of the NGOs being direct. I'm not going into that today. It's a matter for the future. You've de-recognized the best, the foremost NGOs in this country. There's politics in this, but I won't go into that now. Finally, my lord, the initial list we've given of reputed NGOs and animal lovers in the country. Use us. Take us into your confidence. We will join your ranks of the government and the municipality and do that. And my lord, finally, my lord, the direction sought by me. Grateful, my lord. Very grateful.
Yes, Mr. Grover.
Well, I appear in IA 328615 of 25 and represent 328615 of 25. And I represent the Federation of Indian Animal Protection Organization. It's actually a conglomeration of 200 animal lovers organizations.
Right. You'll have to repeat the number of the IA.
Lord, sorry, 328615 of 25.
615.
615. Lord, I am only going to address your Lordship on 3 points. One is, which is very important. Unfortunately, your Lordships did not have the information of educational institutions which have dogs. And what I pointed out in the application is, my lord, that these institutions are actually doing excellent work. I wish we had the opportunity, and I'm sure your Lordship would not have passed a more modulated order. And I'm not talking about open bus stations or railway stations where they are open, accessible. These are educational institutions. And my lord, there are successful models. And my lord, all I want your Lordship to read is one short paragraph at para 9 of, if I may read it.
Yes.
That several educational institutions across the country, both central and state, have already implemented comprehensive, humane, legally compliant systems of management of community dogs within their campuses. These include the establishment of institutional animal welfare committees, identification of campus dog caretakers, creation of design feeding zones, all in accordance with the ABC Rules 2023, and maintenance of transparent rosters. Such institutions have demonstrated through the years of practice that when sterilized vaccinated dogs remain within their original territories under a structured system of oversight, there is, and this is very important, negligible incidence of aggression, predictable and stable dog population, minimal conflict between students and animals, and my lord, these institutions include, my lords, large number of institutions, and I have next the models that they have followed, and these include, my lord, IIT Mumbai, Nalsar Hyderabad,
Yes.
JNU. I'm not reading out, my lord, I'm just quickly, Ashoka University, IIM Udaipur, University of Delhi, OP Jindal, Symbiosis Hyderabad, Symbiosis Noida, Amity Noida, and my lord, then one portion, my lord, your Lordships indicated non-release in that.
Yes.
We have some issue with that, my lord, and we consider that that should be changed because blanket non-release actually is not sound and scientific. Because it's already been addressed.
That has been
I
argued.
don't want to repeat it.
That has been argued.
Yeah, that's point I am making. So that's why we are seeking a modification, my lord. Now, very importantly, my learned friend Mr. Gonsalves mentioned, I have given figures, my lord, at para 19 of the application that rabies. No, this is important, my lord. With what has happened over a period of time, ABC rules, earlier one and the new ones have been followed to some extent. Where they have been followed properly, things have actually worked. So rabies has come down, dog population has come down. But there are instances where they have not actually been followed. And then you have these sudden instances and their lordships are bound to react. What we have to do is the long-term plan. Long-term plan is that follow the ABC rules strictly. And the government
That
must...
direction was given by this court in 2018. The orders were just read out.
Yes.
What has happened?
Well, that's the point. The affidavits are not actually giving you the proper data.
Because the authorities are not complying, the people should continue to suffer. That is what the intent is.
True. I have no doubt about that. And therefore, we must take into account what the government is not doing. They must put in the money And most of the shelters are actually being taken care of by the NGOs. And that's the sad thing. We want to work. But the governments must be taken into account, and they should actually put the money in. So, where it has worked, the dog bites have come down, and very importantly, rabies has also come down. And only one point I want to make about rabies, Milord. Just 1 minute, I have to go anyway. I don't have the time. After 2 o'clock, I'm not here. Rabies, if the dog is rabies affected, it doesn't survive. You just have to take it into isolation and it dies. That is the rule, Rule 16. So there is no question of the rabies dog biting repeatedly. It is only like Mr. Gonzalez said, you actually allow the dogs to actually leave their place, etc. I'm not going to repeat it. Now, I have given examples of all dog populations coming down in various states. Now, therefore, our prayer is twofold. One is that your Lordship vary the order. The original ABC rule should actually be followed strictly. And secondly, non-release should be varied. Those are the 2 points. I don't want to take much time.
Mr. Siu Singh, yes.
Well, the dog, that Mr. Gonzalez has made a precedent plea of Supreme Court dogs not being relocated. I want to emphasize that. We know some of the dogs, so I don't want to repeat it. Much obliged, Lord.
May it please your Lordships.
Yes.
Lords, I am appearing in IA 312582. 2582 and 83, that is implement and directions, 312582 and 83, and there's a separate IA 329688. Now the separate IA 329688 is for stay of completely goes way beyond your Lordship's order, and we've itemized it. Now, the petitioners before your Lordships, the applicants before your Lordships here are 3 members of the faculty, professor and
That's all right.
I just want to point this out because Mr. Venugopal had said that Nalsar is the only university which has this. The Faculty of Law, Delhi University, which is immediately in the vicinity of the court, has an animal law cell functioning since 2022. These 3 professors who are applicants before your Lordships are part of that animal law cell, apart from their other professorial duties.
Delhi University.
Of the Faculty of Law, Delhi University, and Faculty of Law has, LawFac has several centers, your Lordship know about 3 or 4 centers. Now, they have been doing research on these issues, and therefore they are coming before your Lordships to place the scientific and research-based thing. Now, I'll just tell your Lordships, if your Lordships just goes to my IA for directions was page 29. I'll just take a moment to tell your Lordship, page 29.
So one is you want to stay of the SOP.
That is in the second IA.
What other directions you want?
Para C, D, E, H and I of your Lordship's direction of 7 November, we are requesting that those should not be implemented until your Lordship's taken a holistic view on the entire.
Mr. Sipal had in his application.
Yes, a holistic view. And we are sure that your Lordship will do that, but my Lords were perhaps not fully cognizant of all the aspects. Now today, I think your Lordship will have all sides of it before you, and you will, let's take a reasoned view on it. So just come to page 29. I'm not going to read anything. Just come to page 29. I'll just tell your Lordship where I'm coming from of my IA.
Yes.
So at the foot of 29 is adverse repercussions on ecology and environment after abrupt removal.
This is page 21 of which application?
29 of the 312582.
312582.
Yes.
Yes.
Page 29.
Yes.
Adverse repercussion on ecology and environment after abrupt removal of street dogs. This is the real thing. So the first thing is vacuum effect. Lordship may just make a note of this.
Yes.
The vacuum effect is that when there is a stabilized population of dogs in a particular area, and when you remove them abruptly, when there's a gradual tapering off over years due to the ABC, due to the birth control rules, if they are implemented, then what happens is there's a natural evolution. There are cats, dogs. In Delhi, we also have a problem of monkeys. So if you abruptly remove them, the vacuum effect leads to, first of all, dogs from out, which Mr. Gonzalez pointed out, dogs from outside that population rush in and fill that vacuum. So the sterilized dogs in a population are taken out because your lordships have said all institutional areas, stadiums, railway stations, universities, schools, etc., which are set out in para C, 25C of your lordship's order. When they are abruptly removed, the vacuum effect inevitably leads to a rushing in of other unstabilized populations. So we've set out, the reason I told your lordship to turn to page 29 is, for each statement which is made, the studies, published scientific studies, are set out and annexed. So at page 29, para 18 and 19 are the vacuum effect. 19 sets out the WHO publication, which is the third expert consultation on rabies, and how this abrupt removal is not a solution even for tackling of rabies in populations. The WHO noticed that what was good for advanced countries, where they had the means and the resources to completely fund proper shelters, where the balance would be between adoption from shelters and dogs remaining in the shelters for their natural lives, etc. That is not available in poorer countries. So just that para 19, your lordship may correlate this with the annexure A9 and A10, which are at page 153 and 168. And at 171, your lordship may just see one passage in the WHO consultation at page 171.
Yes.
If I could just read that. Mass dog vaccination, 171, the foot of the page. This is the WHO consultation. Mass dog vaccination has repeatedly been shown to be effective for controlling dog-mediated rabies, whereas removal of dogs does not decrease dog density or control rabies in the long run. Mass culling of dogs should therefore not be a part of a rabies control strategy. It is ineffective and may be counterproductive to vaccination programs, particularly when they target free roaming dogs. For more information on humane dog population management, see Chapter 7.7 of the OIE Manual of Diagnostic Tests and Vaccine for Terrestrial Animals, Stray Dog Management. This is WHO. This is not some sort of bleeding heart liberal.
No, Mr. Simon also pointed out there was a module prepared by the Indian government also, which also says the same thing.
Several. I'm just saying that the impression that dog lovers, etc. But these are what is the best. The point is not whether dogs are needed in Delhi University, dogs are needed in the Supreme Court campus. That's not the point. The point is dogs are a reality. Now the point is, what is the best way of dealing with them in order to avoid harm to human beings? That is the point. And there I don't think anybody on any side of this can have any issue. That the question is, what is the best way of dealing with them to avoid harm to human beings? I think that is the question which the court should frame for itself, and that is the question. Now, merely because we say that there's a natural tendency to say that in institutions, there are a lot of innocent people who may have no love for dogs at all. 1 minute. So what we have done is, as I said, from page 29 to 38, your lordship will find each one of these things and what are the best means of dealing with them, and the studies are there. They're all set out. I don't want to trouble your lordship. Now, please come to page 39. That I would really request your lordships to just indulge me for a moment. And this is an example of how the animal birth control rules work in practice where they are implemented. So please come to page 39.
Yes.
successful initiative by the Nizamuddin East Colony Association for the proper management and cohabitation of street dogs. Now, what these applicants here, the professors have set out because they interacted with various of these associations. The NICA RWA took this up in October 2020 because October 2019 because there was October 2020 because there was conflict, human-animal conflict, and the association itself members were naturally divided, etc. In October 2020, a census was carried out with the location of each dog. 108 street dogs were there in the colony, that is what they point out. To resolve they first did the systematic census with the location of each dog. Then by March 2021, 100% of the identified dogs, that is 108 dogs, were sterilized and vaccinated, resulting in a complete halt to birth of puppies. So after March 2020, there have been no puppies born in those identified dogs of 108 dogs. Now, to minimize the human-animal conflict, they identified feeding points and they appointed the colony association by getting donations from. There's a point here. So they appointed a feeding agency. So once a day, the dogs are fed at those designated points. And in the result,
you have put up that complete module in that, how they have worked out.
Now by October 2025, 5 years after this, my lords, by October 2025, the population had come down in the natural course to 68 from 108. And only 2 dogs were relocated, which were found to be aggressive, and they could not be sorted out. So they were sent out in the body.
Understood.
So,
Portmaster.
I just want to point this out.
If you want to argue further, we'll hear you tomorrow.
No, I just want to underline.